Hello, fellow Lightkeepers. I'm Kimberly, Katherine, and I'm so glad you're here. If you're a loyal listener, welcome back. If you're new, I'm so glad you're here. Today, I'm here to talk about, have you ever had a moment in your life where everything completely changes within seconds? I did. About 2 weeks ago, I was rear ended on my way to my horseback riding lesson as I'm preparing for my trip to England to go on a horse retreat and do some other travels over there and meet some people. Well, it really shook me to the core because, first of all, I was completely present when I go on my horseback riding because I'm going to be on 1,000 pound or more animal and complete surrendering. I'm very present. So I wasn't texting, wasn't multitasking. My head was completely present. I was stopped at a stoplight, and then boom, a young gentleman hit me from behind. It really startled me. And I was like, why is this happening? But actually, there is a reason why this was happening. This is not about the car accident. This is about completely surrendering to be authentic. And if you listen to my anniversary episode, which was 2 weeks ago, it was all about what did I learn in that 1 year of my podcast journey, and it's to be authentic. And part of being authentic is to surrender. I thought I had surrendered, but the accident didn't teach me to surrender. It showed me where I still hadn't surrendered. I was starting to get all caught up planning for this trip for the perfect outfits, transportation, because I'm going to many different places, coordinating every detail. How's my dog going to be? What am I going to do with this? What am I going to do with that? And then life literally stopped me in my tracks. So I had to stop any type of planning and I had to completely surrender. As well as surrendering to plans, I had to allow for people to help me. And even I think I learned at a very young age, it was difficult for me to learn to have or to trust that people could help me. And that was because I had to take care of myself. And I had a very good upbringing, and it has nothing to do with that. I had healed that piece this past year, but there was still a smidgen more. When I was in the ER and I was still, why is this happening? In the x ray room, I looked up and I saw a beautiful mural of birds and a tree. And if you've been with me for a while, you also know that I say a lot birds are my favorite radio station. And that wasn't a whisper. And I've also have an episode about whispers. It felt like Source saying to me, I've got this. I have your back. Trust. Just listen. Stop carrying what you were never meant to carry and just enjoy this beautiful adventure. I've already gone before you. And it was so true because up to about 3, 4 days after the accident, I was still thinking that I was going to have to cancel my trip. And if you've been with me for a while, also, you know that I've done an episode on healing because people always ask me, hey, how did you heal yourself? I say, well, number one, the first decision is to make the decision, but really make the decision. I want to heal. And that Thursday morning, I was feeling kind of blue because I had a light concussion, not really nauseous anymore, and my body was aching. And then I talked with a friend and we talked, and I reached out to people were reaching out to me, and I'm so grateful. And I said, you know what? No matter what it is, I am going to do this. I am going to heal this in the remainder 1.5 weeks before my trip, and I'm going to go. And it's almost like being an athlete. It is like being an athlete. It's not almost, it is like being an athlete. It's black belt mentality. It's making the decision. And I got a little scared because last time I was in a big accident, it was a complete trajectory for my life, which led to an autoimmune disease, et cetera, or diagnosis. But getting back here, so the bigger message was to be authentic and to completely surrender. And Source, God, higher self, whoever you believe in, has got your back. So what did I do? For my healing, I made the decision, which was first. And then I went inward. I did quiet. I did light meditations just to Love meditations. Actually, Dr. Joe Dispenza. I love those. It's been so healing on my, or so nourishing and healing for my healing journey. Meditation. It quiets the noise inside, and you get a nice connection with Source. And it regulates my nervous system. And it can also reveal what you're still holding on to. And there's so many other modalities to go inward. You could just sit and there you go, listen to the birds sing, and it could be, depends on your situation, have the window open and listen to the birds. Or you can even use your phone, and there's many different on YouTube or meditation sites where you can listen to birds. So for me, this last healing piece was meditation, acupuncture, infrared sauna, gentle movement, just light walks in the neighborhood, not immediately, but a couple days in, a lot of hydration, very wholesome food, rest, connection, and love. Acupuncture has supported me after my first concussion during shingles, through one of the most stressful seasons of my life, and now again during this recovery. And my current practitioner is absolutely amazing. She uses acupuncture, cupping, moxa, arnica, and herbs. And I really am so grateful to that team. And I don't believe that one modality heals us. I believe that we and feel that we need to reach out to several different ones, and one can work at a time, and then you need to put that one to the side and use another, or use a couple at the same time, quite honestly. And so my closing reflection here is basically authenticity is simply telling the truth. Authenticity is allowing life to support you. And that is a biggie. That is a biggie. Just to surrender, just to surrender. I thought this accident interrupted my life. Instead, it deepened my surrender. So today, I want to leave you with one question. Where in your life are you still trying to carry something that life, God, or the universe is asking you to set down? What would happen if just for today, you allowed yourself to be held? Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode of the Lightkeepers Path. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love it if you would share it with someone who may need this simple reminder. Until next time, Lightkeepers, take care of yourself, trust the whispers, and remember, you are never meant to carry it all alone. I'd like to dedicate this episode to my mom on the 20th anniversary of her passing, because sometimes the greatest lessons reveal themselves in the rest of the story. Have a beautiful day.